Hello and welcome back, Yogi Bears, to day 4 of Yogatober. Today we're doing a witch's broom balance, so we'll be using our imagination and also a little bit of balancing. I've also got my new gimbal, so we're going to give that a go and hopefully it works out okay. So first of all, we're just going to start in our mountain pose. You also might need a couple of blocks for this one, or as I said before, you could always use a book as well, but we won't need that for the first couple of postures. So we're just going to start in mountain pose. So just bring the feet so they're hip width apart and just take a little moment to rock back and forth. Lift the toes, the balls of the feet, spread the toes and then place them down so you feel nice and firm on the ground. And then just a soft bend in the knees, just remembering the pelvis like a bowl of water. And then drawing the spine up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. And then just spreading the fingertips and the hands just to keep the arms engaged. And we'll just take a moment here in mountain pose. You can close the eyes or soften the gaze, whatever feels best. And just take a few grounding breaths here. And again, it's just going to be a nice short flow today, a little bite-sized chunk. Really nice. Maybe just remind yourself of your intention for your Yogatober sessions. And also just remembering that the hardest part is showing up and you're already here, so well done. Okay, so we're going to begin with our tree pose, Vrksasana. And we did do this the other day, but we're just going to revisit it. So you can choose your variation. So we have foot on the ground. We have foot below the knee, so never putting it on the knee joint. Or we have it above the knee here. I personally like the middle one. Sometimes I do like having it on the ground, the first option, and closing the eyes because that adds a whole other level of balance. But I think today I'm going to go for the middle variation. So again, I'm just keeping my left leg a little bit soft in the knee, slight bend in the knee, rooting down with my left foot. I'm bringing the right foot just underneath to my calf. And then with the arms, again, you have some variations. So you could start with just having the arms by the sides. You could bring them all the way up. You could have them up like so. Just make sure you soften the shoulders, bring them away from the ears. You could bring it up to a little prayer pose or bring it down to Anahata, the heart chakra, if you like. And just remember that you can also just keep your hands on your hips as well. And just remembering that you're not trying to force the knee open, the right knee open. You're just letting it see where it lands. So some of you might have more open hips than others, and that's absolutely fine. You might even find there's a difference one side to the other. So we're not trying to force, did you hear that click? We're not trying to force the hip open. We're just letting it be gentle. Okay, so just take a moment here, Vrksasana, tree pose, drawing the belly button towards the back of the spine. Keep wobbling on my foot, that's okay. We just try again. I always end up getting a laughing attack when I'm doing these and then I can't balance. And breathe. Very nice. And then just gently release. Shake out a little bit here. I always feel like I've held my breath a little bit when I'm doing that one on camera. Okay, we're going to do the same again on the other side. I would say do the same variation. So I'm just going to keep my right toes nice and spread and then plant them down on the earth. I'm just going to bring the left foot up onto the right calf. I feel like I've got a Mr. Burns dinosaur hands going on. So you could do that as your hand posture, or I'm just going to bring my hands, I think, to my waist for this one. And then I might do my little circle. Sometimes it gives you something else to be mindful of and can help the balance. Sometimes it just makes me extra wobbly. We'll see. And you can have the hands here. Really nice. And if you really want to, you can give yourself a challenge. You can close the eyes, because that makes the balancing a little bit trickier. Draw the belly button towards the back of the spine, lifting nice and tall, rolling the shoulder blades back and down. Open through the chest. Really nice. And then we'll just shake out a little bit. Okay. So we're going to move into our warrior 3. And if you have blocks, I would also grab those and just put them so they are, well, it's up to you. You can have them this way, but I would have them this way. and just going to put them at the front of your mat. We're not going to use them for warrior 3, but we are going to use them afterwards for our half moon pose. And you might find them quite handy. So warrior 3, we're going to bring the left foot forwards, and we're just going to bring the right leg back, and just bring it so the right toes are just on the sort of tippy toe behind you. And you can imagine now that you're on your Wicked Witch broom, if you like, if you want a bit of imagination here, and you're just trying to balance and stay on. So what we can do is we're just going to gently bend in that left knee, a little bit like we did that soft bend for Vrikasana, for tree pose. And we're going to bring our hands to our waist here as well. So bring the hands to the waist for now. And then we're just going to tilt the body forwards, maybe lifting. You can lift and put that right leg down, just to play around a little bit here. I'm really feeling it in my left quad as well after tree pose, but it's good. Okay, so then I'm going to lift my back leg. Have a little wobble, that's okay. We're imagining that we've got our broomstick in front of us, so we're going to reach forward for our broomstick. I'm just having a little flashback to watching Harry Potter 1 the other day when Ron's like, up, up, and then it just thwomps him in the face. So we can imagine that happening. And then we can reach the arms out if we like. You can flex that back foot or you can point it, but just try and dial the toes down. Or you can imagine that you are grabbing onto a broom. Really nice. And then we're going to go bend the front knee. Ooh, have a little wobble. I'm actually going to just have a little shake out of my left leg. And then we're going to go into our half moon. So for this one, we're just going to keep the left foot nice and grounded. We're bringing the right leg up and back. And then what we actually want to do is have our block or our book in the middle of the mat. And then we're just going to open up through the right side, opening up that right leg. Ooh, having a little bit here. Oh, there we go. And you can actually just play with it with the leg first, and then you can bring the arm up to join it. I haven't done this pose in a really long time. Oh, so it's testing my balance. I'm going to do the easier variation. I'm just going to lift that back leg. Really nice. And I can open up my hip a little bit too. Okay, and then bring it back down. Bend the knees, roll it back up. So you might need one block or two. I only really needed one block then. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So take a breath. Oh, it's like trying not to fall over then. Okay. I'm wondering if this side will be stronger. I'm not sure. We're about to find out. You might find one side is weaker than the other. So we're going to catch our breath. Bring the hands to the waist. We've got the right foot on the ground. Left foot is just going to step back and just touch, do a few little toe taps here. Bend, soft bend in that right knee. And then bring the left foot all the way up. And then we're grabbing hold of our broomstick, our warrior 3. So you can be more like this, or you can hold your imaginary broom. Can I talk and do yoga at the same time? We're not sure today. That's okay. Draw the belly button towards the back of the spine. Nice long body, nice long spine. And then again, we're going to dip, bring it all the way down. And then this time, I'm just going to do the same half moon, but balancing on the right leg. So I'm going to get rid of this other block for a minute. My block is in the middle. I'm just going to see. I'm going to have a little play around because it's been a while since I've done this posture. I might even bring my block out. Oh, that's better. Okay, if you're struggling with the balance, just bring the block out to the side, so to my right side. And then bringing the arm up. And if you can, bring the gaze up the sky. I think this was what I was doing wrong last time. I think I was having my block too far in the middle. Really nice, a nice half moon. Imagine you're a little witch looking at the moon on your broom. And then bring it all down. Shake out a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to come down now into our forward fold. Okay, so we're just going to get nice and grounded after our little broom flight. So it's going to bring the legs out in front of us. And we got a couple of variations here. So as always, you can use your bolster. I think I'm going to go bolsterless today, but if you're using a bolster or bricks or books, just pop them, or a cushion, just pop it underneath your knees. I'm going to keep my feet nice and flexed, so you can have a nice bend here if that feels good, or you can do it bolsterless, but just with bent knee. So I'm just going to bring my feet out in front. I'm going to flex my feet, and then I'm going to think a nice long spine. So again, thinking of our broomstick, nice and long spine, bringing the arms all the way up, and then thinking all the way up and then over. So it's almost like you know that bit in Hocus Pocus where Sarah Michelle Gellar's like singing to the children. It's kind of gives me that kind of vibe. So thinking up and over. And then just relaxing the head a little bit here. And we're just keeping an eye on our lower back. So if you're like me and you have a little bit of a repetitive injury with your lower back, then just be mindful of that. We don't want to feel like a pull in there. If you do feel a pull, you just bend the knees a little bit more. And then what I like to do is just take a few breaths here. So as I breathe in, I draw the shoulders away from my ears, nice long spine and legs, flexing the feet. And then as I exhale, sinking a little bit lower into the posture. Inhale, exhale, soften. A couple more breaths. Really nice. And then just gently roll it all the way up. And then we're going to come into our Shavasana pose. So I am going to use my bolster for this one. If you've got a little cushion or a pillow, you can use that as well. And we're just going to shimmy, shimmy, shimmy down to the ground. And as always, I will play a little bit of extra music in the background here for you at the end. So if you have a little bit of time, then you can just stay here. Okay. Okay, apologies, gang. This is the third time filming the last bit of Shavasana. My new gimbal is great, but I have to use an app with it, and it just keeps saying it's out of space, and there's loads of space on my phone. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, as always, I will leave a little bit of extra music, excuse me, at the end. So if you have got a bit of extra time, then you can just chill out in Shavasana for longer. Otherwise, going to take a few breaths here. We're just going to bring the hands up to the third eye. I just want to say a massive thank you for joining me today, and also give yourselves a thank you for showing up. Always the hardest part, so well done. And just take a nice big breath in through the nose. And exhale to sigh one more time. Lovely. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.